Hello, Wayland Middle Schools. Mr. Farley here. Today I'm going to show you how to evaluate negative exponents. This is the first time you've heard about this, and so it may seem a little strange at first, but hopefully after this video you feel a little bit better. Just want to bring back our pattern that we did yesterday when we were talking about the zero exponent, when we learned that any base to the zero power equals 1. We noticed that when the base is 3, it means multiply 3 by itself 4 times. It gave us 81. And to get to the 1 below, remember, as the exponent decreased by 1, we divided each of these by the base. Divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. If we continue this pattern into negative numbers, I think everyone agrees that negative 1 is 1 less than 0. This pattern should continue, so we should divide 1 by 3. If we divide 1 by 3, you get 1/3. So what we're going to learn here is that negative exponents, see, 3 to the negative first is 1/3. Negative exponents do not give us negative numbers. They actually give us fractions, okay? And this is just continue to, I said 3 to the first is 3, you know that. 3 to the 0 is 1, we know that. Lower the exponent by 1, divide it by 3, you get the 1/3. Lower the exponent by 1 here, divide by 3 again, 1/3 divided by 3 is 1/9. I lowered the exponent again here by 1, which means I divide this guy by 3, and 1/9 divided by 3 is 1/27. We get fractions when we have negative exponents. So when we work on these, I want you to make sure you remember that. Negative numbers do not lead us to negative exponents do not lead us to negative numbers, but rather we get fractions. So I have a couple of examples that I want to show you when you are actually evaluating these things. This is kind of your thought process you want to go through when you do this, okay? I want to figure out 6 to the negative second. Now, I'm not going to make a big pattern like I did with all the other examples. These are the steps you should do. You should, in your brain, ignore that negative exponent for just a second and pretend we have 6 to the second power. If we have 6 to the second power, you guys know 6 to the second is 36, okay? But we do have a negative here. This negative exponent is telling us, it's saying, hey, make it a fraction. Give me the reciprocal. That's what it wants. It wants the reciprocal of 36. The reciprocal of 36 is 1 over 36. That's what 6 to the negative second means. It is not a negative number. It is a fraction. It is the reciprocal of 6 to the second. This is telling us 4 to the negative fifth. It's telling us we want the reciprocal of 4 to the fifth. Well, I calculated 4 to the fifth to be 1,024. And now I want the reciprocal of that. And guys, the reciprocal of 1,024, just flip it. It's going to be 1 over 1,024. That's what we're talking about here. This guy is saying, I want the reciprocal of y to the 7th. That's what it means, okay? So I like to take y to the 7th. Okay, there it is. And if I do the reciprocal of y to the 7th, I just flip it, and it becomes 1 over y to the 7th. This expression right here means 1 over y to the 7th. One more for you. What if we did 5 to the negative third power? In your brain, calculate 5 to the third power. 5 to the third means 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. But that's not what we want. We don't want 125. We want the reciprocal. The negative exponent means the reciprocal. What's the reciprocal of 125? Guys, it's 1 over 125. So when you evaluate these, I like to ignore the negative, figure out what it is, 5 to the third is 125, and then take the reciprocal at the very end. Hope this was helpful.